Alright, everyone. Welcome back. Hello! How's it going? We are back with Ace Attorney. Last time we played... Oh, it made a noise at me. Last time we played... Let me catch you guys up to speed. Let me give you the cliff notes, or whatever they're called. At the beginning of the game... Edgeworth is gone. The main guy of last game, whose life we saved, and also he was a prosecutor. At the beginning of this game... Hello? But at the beginning of this game, Phoenix is like, oh, I don't want to talk about him. Don't bring him up ever again, Maya. So, an incredibly important main character just glossed over suspiciously. And then, it is revealed that Edgeworth has died off-screen due to an unforeseen event that is never... He left a note saying that he was going to die, no one talked to him. Oh wait, hold on, I need to close my door. Whoop! Anyway. What was I saying? Right. Even Gumshoe's like, oh yeah, Allie's not around anymore. I'm not at liberty to tell you what happened, sorry. But then, at the end of the third case, it's revealed he's not dead. He's at an airport. And then, while Maya's been kidnapped, he shows up all smug like, hey, moron, I see you still suck at your job, as usual. And, never elaborated, on what happened, where he was, why he did that. Did not tell his own family. His sort of sister. They're not really related, but they're kind of siblings, in a way. Anyway, did not tell her, did not tell me. Let me turn up the volume, I think it's a bit quiet. So I'm, understandably, I think I'm justified in being very mad and being a bit of a hater right now. Anyway, Maya's starving to death in a cellar. I mean... You've got wine, there's like boxes up there, maybe there's food in there. It's only been a day, I'm sure you could- well, she's underage. But you gotta make do with what you have. Let me go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. Drink the wine, Maya, it's your only choice. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't gonna kill me, so I'm not going to die. Oh, by the way, the man who promised, that he wasn't going to kill her, his name is The Killer. The Killer is here. And also, this case is confusing. I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Let's see, any food in here? All sorts of things piled up in here. It's too dark to see. Pull them out. What's this? Feels like there's a lot of glass bottles here. These, they feel like barrels. Oh, Maya, there's a light on! Is she blindfolded? I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry, and not really thirsty. Well, I mean, it'll fill your stomach at least. What kind of foolishness who names their son the Killer? Oh, not the... D.E. Killer. Let's go back to the guy that's named the killer. Yeah, about the killer. I'm going to make the safe assumption, just a guess, that he's the one who killed the victim in this case. But he also but he isn't the one who framed our client. Our client has been framed, but it wasn't by the guy who killed the guy who died, the victim. It was somebody else. And the guy who killed the victim wants to really make sure that our good buddy Matt does not go to jail. So much that he had to kidnap a person and hold her ransom. So something is happening. Oh, I can't look at my court record from here. So yeah, our client Matt was rivals with this guy who died who was killed by the killer. The killer got him. But when he died, Matt was framed, but not by the killer. I guess it would be by the framer. Does the killer know the framer? And Matt's manager is Adrian, who was allegedly dating the victim because his manager was Celestine Pax, who died, but her suicide note couldn't be found, and they think that it was him who hid it. And I don't know how Matt really plays in. He was also, he doesn't like him, so that's something. And also Wendy is here. A gifted prosecutor. He disappeared suddenly a year ago. Yeah, sure. Why not? This game should have been. Yeah, definitely. I did read somewhere that this game was like super rushed compared to the first one. What else do I have? A wine glass. Also, his guitar was stolen? Question mark? There was a guitar, but it wasn't at the crime scene. He got stabbed with a butter knife. I don't know how you die from that. It looks like it was like 2 centimeters in him. Everything fell down except for this wine glass. Hello? Locked. This door's locked. This door is locked. Seems easy enough to open. Here's always use a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Door magically opens. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Like this card. Hey, wait a minute. There's an Ace Attorney anime. I do know that. I haven't seen it. This is the card that Adrian holds. Adrian found this. What does it mean? Looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. I am observing. Picture of a seashell, I think. Okay. Right now, Adrian has the biggest motive. I don't like that we're the same age. Adrian had a motive to kill Juan. Multiple, in fact, I'd say. But it was... And that would explain why Matt No, it doesn't. It still doesn't explain. No. What? No, it doesn't. I was gonna say, it would explain why they don't want Matt to be framed for this, but then who framed Matt? I don't know why she would want to frame Matt. What a strange card. Shellcar will use it to open the door. Maya, that's a very bad idea. I'm such a genius, Maya. Alright. Excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. Maya, you have no idea how bad of an idea this is. I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Saving! Great. Well, see you guys next stream, everybody. Anyway. Court. Defendant lobby number 3. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I can't check my record. Adrian did it. Oh, that's what we're going with? Didn't we, like, promise her, like, the last thing we said to her that we wouldn't bring it up? But yeah, that doesn't really make any sense, but it's the only thing we have. Like, it's the only possible lead, besides the guy named the Killer. And we don't have him as a profile, so we can't present that to the court. Isn't this game like a detective game or a judge game? More a detective game. Where I'm supposed to be the defense attorney, but I also have to be a prosecutor sometimes, because they're like, okay, you find the killer then. You figure out who did it, genius. Even though that's not the defense attorney's job. Yeah, sure, why not? That's what it looks like. Does it? I mean... She was the one who found the body. But... And she does have a motive for killing Juan, I'd say. But... She doesn't have a motive for framing Matt. And... I don't... And also there's a guy named the Killer who did the killing. And why... And if... Yeah, if... She killed Juan, why is the killer helping Matt and kidnapping Maya? Because if the killer wasn't here, this would be, like, pretty, like... Okay, this is like, okay, this makes sense, but now that... But since he is here doing this whole hostage situation, it just throws a wrench into things. She paid him. Here's the thing, paid him to do what? Kidnap? But no, that make... Well... But if... If the killer wants Matt innocent, and to make sure Matt is innocent, we have to prove that it was her that did it, so... That would go against what she would do if she did hire the killer. Matt, who is the killer? Also, Matt might know who the killer is? Or he just got scared. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? Dude. I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. I don't know why. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I'm just a little guy. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. The killer is some weird justice seeker. He's like a worse Batman. It'd be really funny if he's called the killer but has done no killing. Well, it's almost time. This is either gonna be Franziska or this is gonna be Edgeworth and I'm gonna get upset again. Okay, it's Mia, never mind. I'm fine now. Hi, Mia. You must get a complete acquittal today. Mia, I don't know what's going on. I know. I can't focus on my situation right now. Or Pearl's either. Mia jump scare. Alright, what? I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Mr. the Killer, sir, I don't think you want to call me in a crowded courthouse. Hello. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. This is it, Luigi. The day of the trial. Why, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Uh-oh! Don't worry, people don't die that easily, usually. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. I'm going dog mode. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial for his sake. What? Why do you have stakes in this? Which is why. Is he a family member? I sent you a little present this morning. For me? Is it a bomb? Are you gonna blow up the courthouse? Present? What in the world would you want to give me? Pipe bomb in the mail. Oh man. Just what I wanted. How did you know? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I'll expect you graciously accept it. And win the day's contest, if you please. It's a bomb. Wait! I'm going to, like, do badly, and he's gonna, like, go on the intercom and say, if you declare his client guilty right now, I'm gonna blow everyone up. Oh, it's gonna be an even bigger hostage. Oh boy, more hostages, yay. Kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer Dude, who was that? I don't know. No one. It has nothing to do with you, so don't worry. Don't worry, Matt. Okay. Yay. Dude. Did your nose just get longer? Like Pinocchio? No. Hey, wait a minute. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard. I think we're missing something here. Are the prosecution and defense ready? No! Defense is ready, Your Honor. Where'd she go? Oh no. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? The gift is... She's gone! Oh no, she kidnapped her too! Oh my god. What'd I miss? Well... Hostage situation? Possibly another? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? I don't know, Your Honor. You're getting mad at why is everyone so mean to me? Your Honor! Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. No, it isn't. The crucial portion of the court is missing. We can't... I mean, I won't complain if we don't have a prosecutor. That'll make my job a lot easier. I'll say, here's my defense. No, he didn't do it. The prosecution, you have any objections? No? I don't hear- you see? Not guilty. Let's go home, everyone. You must tell me something. Please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor. Prosecutor Von Karma's. Warning. Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Oh. I think I know what the gift was. Oh no. I think I know, what's gonna happen next after this. What? What? She's still gone. Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. I beat the game! Yay, we won! Oh my god, she's dead. This present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at this moment. Unfortunately, there's a second one that I have to worry about now. Which is even worse, because I have personal beef with him right now. If he were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Yeah. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? No, she was shot. I don't have an answer. Oh, she's alive and in stable condition. I don't like those question marks, though. Oh, that's good. Whew. You're... God damn it. Get him out of here. Hold on. Don't you have to go through, like, paperwork to change the prosecutor or something? Maya's being arrested for the attempted murder of Francesca Von Karma. Oh my god, but she's not even here! Your Honor! Due to the circumstances, Miss Von Karma can not appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Okay, but consider this, I don't want you here. Okay. I'm fine. I just have to beat him in a court case, and then he'll be sorry again. And then he'll never talk to me. And we don't have to see him ever again. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder, and is currently undergoing surgery. Is it at the Arthur character that the guy had gay wedding with the rat guy? No, that was a different guy. That was a different Arthur character. There was a gay rat wedding, though. That's Arthur's dad. Luckily, I've looked over this. Luckily, I've looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Madongard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Well, I don't. I don't watch Arthur. It's okay. I haven't watched Arthur in years anyway. I can't remember a single thing that happens in an Arthur episode, I'm going to be honest. Right, don't talk to me. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. I didn't ask. Don't care, didn't ask. A man is going to jail, another man is dead. There is a... well, I can't tell you that. The other things. And he has the nerve to be smug with me. It's been a whole game since Smug Edgeworth made it. Yeah, he's been gone for a year and told everyone he died and is acting like this. But the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. And now he's all into philosophy now, which makes me even more mad. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. I'm mad at you too. Okay, I can't be that mad at you when you look at me like that. At least Gumshoe looks sorry. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, yeah, Gumshoe's already going through a lot. I'll let him off the hook for now. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Get over it. Simply get over your problems. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. What system is this game for? It originally was the Game Boy Advanced, I think? And then it was on the DS. And then... and then it got ported over to consoles and PC. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is gonna be one very rough fight. Gumshoe's gonna pull an Edgeworth and disappear for a year. No! At least Gumshoe isn't rude to me. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. Answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Bro, just say you're going on a vacation to find yourself. You didn't have to fake your death. Which was the answer you finally found, Edgeworth? Bare facts of the case. The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Awards ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carrillo, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. As you can tell by the 2-centimeter incision with the butter knife. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Why? After the awards ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Murder happens after Hero... Okay, we know that. He's found dead in his room. He was murdered? Okay, what was suspicious about it? And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. We couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh! Then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but... But? The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. Ah, so much for my theory then. No. I could have solved the case. What did update? Oh, what if they were wearing, like, gloves or whatever? Ever think of that? Einstein? The power case had nothing to do with the murder. Why is that? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Garita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. That's suspicious. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. Get this, so the guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. So the Jammin' Ninja didn't bring... Yeah, that's suspicious. And the fact that there's a piece of evidence and they're making such a point out of it means that there's something else going on here. Gather more info from his testimony. Setting up traps is part of the lawyer job. No, it isn't. I don't know anything about bomb defusal, Mia. Could you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. Okay, let's look at our evidence. Do we have an autopsy report? No. Wait. It ended around 8 p.m. And then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. The movie directors tried stabbing him with a butter knife out of rage for forgetting to bring the guitar. That's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute period break. Please continue with your testimony, detective. Victim Juan Garita was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Madame Guard's manager. She's a real pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she'll grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On guard. After visiting his room, she went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. Why was she getting the victim? I mean, that's interesting. And that's when she found the victim's body. The cause of death, we believe definitely murdered, sir. Cause of death wasn't that because Mr. Garita was stabbed in the chest. Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention is drawn to here. This bandana. Oh? I was making the joke about, like, oh, how could someone die to this? Did he not die to the stab wound? Banana. Banana. His bandana, sir. It's a thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Sir, you okay? No. And what about the knife? seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. So, he was strangled to death. And then someone planted a knife with Matt's fingerprints in his body. Which she could have easily done. But I'm still trying to figure out why. Because she doesn't really need to frame Matt. Unless she wasn't confident that... But... this is not making any sense. And where does the killer play into all of this? We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. Oh, we get the autopsy report. Death at 8:15, strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Right, I forgot he's here talking. Unfortunately, I'm too busy. No, I'll hide this for now. I was too busy doing my job to get mad at him. For now. Stop thinking logically, remember that. Oh, that is true. Okay, she wanted to frame Matt because... she thought their rivalry was stupid or something. Or no, she wanted to frame Matt because he's really easy to pin the blame on, so everyone would think it was him and have no suspicion of her. She doesn't really care that much. You can always get a different job, I guess. And she hired the killer to kidnap Maya. No, because that would... No? Okay, let's try this again. The killer was hired by Matt to ensure that... Then again, Matt didn't really want us to take... Well, he did once we... He also got, like, cagey when we mentioned Celeste. Matt's directors? We haven't met Matt's director. That's also a thing. That's also... Maybe we just haven't met we haven't met them yet. That's also a possibility. Because last case, we didn't meet the person who did it until, like, the very end. Why arrest on guard? Matt on guard and Juan Carrito were huge rivals with each other. They each thought of the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. It's always a nice guy who gets blamed. I wouldn't consider the last guy, last time, a nice guy who got blamed. Maximilian Galactica was definitely not a good person. I have to think back. This is also, like, one big reference to the third case of the first game. And in the third case, it was the director who did it. And we also didn't meet the director until way later. And in that case, it was self-defense. Okay, new theory. Juan figured out that she was only dating him to figure out what happened to Celeste. What happened to Celeste? So he tried to kill her, and she fought back, and strangled him with this stupid costume. And in a panic, she just grabbed a random knife and stabbed him. And Matt just was caught in the crossfire of all this. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume. No, right, the button. That was placed deliberately on him. No, so she did purposely frame that. If she was the killer. There's also the guy named the Killer. But the killer doesn't want Matt to get framed. He wouldn't want to frame Matt. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife to the crimes, brought the knife for the crime, which makes it a premeditated murder. Okay, let's... Why would he bring the knife? No, not helpful. What's a guide map? Okay. Didn't he also have a knife in his room? Then again... I don't know if that's a solid enough case, like... So defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. Sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clear, sir. The victim's blood and the on guard's fingerprints. Grip is engraved. Gatewater. It was the bellboy from the first game! He was so obsessed with someone dying. Someone dying, not even in the building. Someone next to the building died, and someone involved with it stayed there. The bellboy has a motive. Bring out the bellboy. And so he thinks, okay, more people need to die so that I can make the Gatewater even more famous. It was the bellboy. I'm going stupid mode. I have to think stupid. That's the twist they're looking for. That's the twist. Are there two Freddy Fazbears? I don't know. There just is. Got our choice of suspects. You also have to... There could be just another suspect we haven't met yet. There could be a secret surprise suspect. We haven't ruled that out yet. And there's this button. It was found in the defendant's clothes, wasn't it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, we know that's the blood on it. Is the victim's blood. Are you sure it isn't the tomato juice? Are we sure this isn't this isn't staged? This is a marketing scheme. This is a marketing stunt. Are we sure have we not figured that out yet? Can we rule that out? Gumshoe, can we for certain rule out that this is all just for show? What? Guards Hakama. All of this very clearly points to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. I'm gonna kill him. Bro, we just started. Why are you doing this? Explode. I'm gonna blow you up with my mind. I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. I'm going to kill you. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Don't phrase it like that, please. It even thinks like, God damn it. You're not allowed to do that after what you did to me. The disabling of logical thinking help, Sammy? Well, it was already pretty... My logical thinking... It already was kind of disabled by default. Like, I was going into the negatives with intelligent through... uses my evil mind powers to make you explode. Madame Guard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. It's motive enough in my book. I mean, with that motive... I mean, with that, you guys could have, like, arrested me for murdering Edgeworth when he died. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Angard was beating Mr. Corrida in popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Sure. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective? It's not, well... Blows up pink. I think you have bots? Well, they're Five Nights at Freddy's characters. They are, I think. Robots. Anyway, I think I just won the case. The judges, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He wouldn't do that. Court's missed. I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Shut up. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! Now, detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension, too. Okay, now you've taken things too far. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir, we can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Well, yeah, hey, wait a minute. I was talking here. You're not paying attention to me again. That's the third. When Edgeworth first showed up, he just straight up ignored me and started talking to Francisca instead. He didn't acknowledge me. After all I've done. Oh, okay, let's just press this. But in terms of popularity... But you know what's ironic, pal? I thought I was gonna just do the whole thing again. Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. Angard and everything. This year, it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end. That's too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. What do you want now? wouldn't even acknowledge what I said. Okay, I see how it is. What's my phone buzzing at me? Jam Ninja's button. Something Ninja's costume found in the store guard's Hakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. Police didn't have free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me? Andrew being mean to me! You're insulting me! What have I done to you? Why is he being mean to me? If it weren't for me, he'd be on death row. If it weren't for me, he'd think he murdered his own dad. When he was 5 or whatever. Freddy Fazbear, what are you talking about? The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. How were the fingerprints arranged on that knife? What? Oh, what do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this. Oh yeah, that does that is a good point. I was like, what is Phoenix talking about? But no, he makes a good point. Was he holding it like he was eating something? Or was he holding it like he was stabbing someone? As though they're like different positions. Sort of. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony rights? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. Is the defendant owner of this knife, then? Brought the knife to the crime scene, which makes it premeditated murder. How do you know it was premeditated? That could have also been in his room. There's no way this was premeditated murder, even if you bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around either. There's something very interesting about what the detective just said now. Judge were more rash before pounding the gavel in closing. Let's find the enemy's weakness. In the testimony. So it's clearly the knife. Let me just save real quick, just in case. Just in case. Let me just save as a little treat. What do I have? Wait, he wasn't killed with the knife, though. No. I didn't mean to do that. It's not premeditated because that's just the knife at the hotel. No. Knife. Okay, but it's not the knife! What haven't I pressed yet? Did I press this? Yeah, proof that the button belongs to the victim. Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. Ask you if you have any evidence that back up your claim of that. The button was ripped off the Jamma Ninja's costume. Can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Someone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by a thread, obviously. The thread snapped and the button was torn off. To match the ends of the thread, the costume with... To match it up the ends of the thread on the costume with the threads on the button is a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. That's the perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Mia, what do I do? Okay, let me read this again. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if you bought the knife. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, and it's not great for walking around with either. Yeah, but it's at the hotel! Agreeable with the judgment. I'm, like, this is... rivals with each other. Oh, wait, did I... Oh, I accidentally, when I skipped through that dialogue... Okay, I see what I did wrong there. When I was skipping through the dialogue, it reset me to the first one. I wasn't back on the knife once. Because I'm gonna say, like, the only thing I can think of is the knife. What? So the basis of your argument is that this was premeditated murder, is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Yeah, this is the Gatewater Hotel's knife. Huh? Take a look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? Huh? Has Gatewater. Seal set into the handle. Gatewater. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, detective. Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. It was the bellboy, I'm telling you. It means the murder was not premeditated. Okay, well, we said it wasn't premeditated. We still have to prove that he didn't do it. Yes, it is very true. This is very big. It's not funny. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. Shut up. Stop talking. It'd be hard to smuggle a weapon into a hotel. Yeah, that too. Wait. Do hotels have, like, metal detectors? I would assume it would be, but... I don't go to hotels and I don't smuggle weapons, so I can't confirm or deny that. I'm gonna kill him. You don't get to play your theme right now. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on police force that dumb enough to not realize this. But I didn't. Oh man. The question is, where did this knife come? Where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room. Thank you, Your Honor. It didn't, though, didn't it? Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. That being the case, I'd like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. How are you projecting this image into my mind? Yes. There's a knife and fork on the table. How did you do that? Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Mad on Guards. I'm projecting into your mind again. Especially what is on top of this table. There's something missing. Perhaps a single knife? Well, I mean, that's not just Matt's room, that's his manager's as well. We investigated leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Mad on Guard's knife was missing. How do you know? I guess it has his fingerprints on it. But how do you... I guess... She's not wearing gloves either, I don't think. I never saw her. Mr. On Guard had gone to the victim's room with a knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife to a visit? To kill, of course. Maybe he wanted to have a bit of his meal. He wanted to share. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven... Well, if he would have to bring his fork too. Damn it, that doesn't work either. This was a premeditated murder. Well, we're back to square one. We've accomplished nothing. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Why don't you ever compliment me? Seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps I just walked headlong into. Well, it won't matter as long as I pin this on someone else. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although... unless... I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown to the court. I have this... I have a hostage situation. It means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. I have evidence. I have a lot of evidence in here. I have a whole bag of evidence. Really, I have... What's relevant here? The wine glass? The wine glass. The wine glass? Well... Phoenix, you literally have no other choice. You've got to take this. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. Phoenix, think. Phoenix. Gotta do something, Phoenix. Actually, I do. Yes. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that the court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I'm giving you one chance, and only one. Don't try bluffs here. Okay, be nice to me. Good lord. The wine glass? Okay, we're good. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. The crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because the victim struggled against his assailant. Vase is broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These are all things that, at one point, were sitting on top of the dress. Also, the guitar case was opened at some point, because it's not wet on the inside, but it's wet on the outside. So, the vase fell, and then someone opened it, like they were looking for something. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. Yeah, whose fingerprints are on those? Yeah, check for fingerprints on that. The only thing that had not fallen over with everything else was this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more strange enough to warrant a further consideration. I guess. Listen, I've got nothing else to work with here. Oh, he's mad at me. Well, what do you all have to say? Oh, well, yes, it's a little peculiar. Yeah, it is kind of weird, but I don't see how that has to do with anything. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. Detective Gumshoe said so, too. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Please stop being so pathetic. That's all I have, Your Honor. What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need you know what I'm going to say. I don't need to say it. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. Says who? What? Source? Back it up? It's safe to say that this glass was set after the crime scene took place. By who? By who? Who messed with the crime scene? So you're saying someone disturbed the crime scene? Is that what you're saying? So you're saying Adrian Andrews tampered with the crime scene? That's what you're saying. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example, she could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Man, I don't know. No? Yeah, logically, I would say no, but I don't really have a choice here. I can look for my proof. I can figure something out later. Trust my instinct. They might believe it, if you're thought-provoking enough. Let's say hypothetically. The Vince would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves Mr. Andrews who set the cup on the table. It's not a cup, Phoenix. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He has some. Damn it. Unlike Mr. Wright, I'd never say anything unless I have evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Listen, I'm doing the best I've got. I've got a walkie-talkie, this Gossip Land magazine, and a glass of wine. What do you want from me? I'm working with what I have. I'm running out of water. Did you think this wine glass had escaped my notice? I mean, hey, wait a minute. You weren't even the one who was originally investigating the crime scene. That was someone else. Yes, I do believe that, actually. Then, of course it's been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints. Always about the damn fingerprints. There was only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one Adrian Andrews. But where'd the glass come from? Whose room was it from? What? There's Andrew's fingerprints. That's why I said the person who had discovered the body had left it there. We are done here, Mr. Wright. fell for another trap. And Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. And she's like, oh, damn. Oh no. You know, this would not be the face I would make if I saw someone lying dead. Stabbed. I'd be a little bit more like... This is me if I see, like... something cool on the side of the road when I'm driving. Like, oh, look at that! This is not the face I would make if I saw a dead body. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Don't you see, Wright? Can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Mia, he's being mean to me again. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. I'm gonna be honest, not much has changed. You kind of seem exactly the same. You're just really mean to me now. Meaner, in fact, than it used to be like, just, you're doing your job and you were kind of rude about it. Now this is personal. You've been giving me, like, personal insults. Like, you really thought about me. This past year was thinking of up insults to say to me. After I got you acquitted of murder. Not acquitted. After I got you, like, off the hook for murder. Twice. On the same day. From here on, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. Huh? Oh, and you're in charge of... Okay, I see how it is. You know who else was like that? Bullying the judge? Say when or when not a verdict would come out? The guy who killed your dad. And then raised you to make you believe that you killed your dad. And then tried to get you accused of murder for killing a guy. And also killing your dad. But sure, why not? Let do that. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? At least he's giving me more to work with, I guess. Yes. Yeah, another witness. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What did he mean? Mia's like, what? What is he doing? Yeah, I don't know. He's doing this to piss me off, I guess. Oh, no. Yeah, he's doing this just to make me angry. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, here we go. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Ow! He's been shot! Gotcha. G-O-T-C-H-A. Bye. Okay, you know what? He deserved this. Actually, I'm glad he did this. I wonder what happened to the calm and composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? Oh, you should be happy to see me. I saw the report with their testimony, but who knew that under that helmet... Wicked Witch of the witness stand? I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do.
So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that you don't have to do with this terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
She has a gun, get down!
Ooh! Oh my god, it actually hurts people! It's actually a gun!
Shush, I'm talking with my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, please, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say. That youths are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dear Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean, you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard. He's saying he's cute in a fresh way or something.
Yo, I'm fresh like a spring breeze, dude. Refreshing like a spring breeze, get it right.
But not me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. He's just a little guy. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Carita.
Those two are the exact same age. Well, they don't look like it. Anyway. All of this...
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Boo.
What you witnessed. What happened?
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard, mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it had to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Creepy. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help out. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Lead-headed. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, the manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard on it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to the hang around the victim's door. Something interested in finding out, you know. Something you were interested in, and just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know.
You're in court.
It's a top secret between me and Juan. He is dead. And Edgy Boo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have her appended to her testimony later. Should force it right now. And then this witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? I was on the job, I had to keep an eye out the whole time. Like, why didn't you see someone enter? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Carita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't bored so I could count things of who those didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I kept keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, witness then saw someone, correct? And someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. Sort of information as... That could have been... What? The man that came out of was Juan's room. He was... Yes, he was... I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what would I give it to Francisca's whip right now?
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. Just on guard, man on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
You saw my client, are you sure about that?
Yes, say.
Really?
Annoying brat, when I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
I get a sense of deja vu. The person's face. Please tell me the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes. The effeminate lips. His right eye covered his silky hair, his sparkling, shiny teeth.
His teeth were shining.
Well, he's shining all around in the week pinup poster, dearie.
This week's pinup? Why'd you... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? Guard's face is the same no matter what... Where it is, you know, whippersnapper?
So, Mr. Wright, was the testimony... No. No. Guess it wasn't really important after all. I think there is something there. Old guy who's ancient as saw the dawn of man. Okay. Person's clothes. Yeah, what was he wearing? Because he was wearing his outfit at the day of the murder. Night of the murder, still. What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh, yes, he was wearing that thing. What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
But he was still in the...
That thing's been for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons, men.
Right. Yeah, because wasn't he still... Okay. He was still in... Yeah, he was still in costume, wasn't he? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. And perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that the witness said that appended to her testimony. I must. He couldn't have, because he was wearing the outfit. This whole bag...
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's the button number 2 of the Jim and Ninja's costume!
How do you know that? I know she was a obsessed fan. She identified a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Ow!
She really said die hard. Man, I want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full-body search.
See? But the button proved beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal on guard.
It's clearly in his pleats of his nickel samurai. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? On guard is the nickel samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ah. I'm so sorry. Oops. Sorry that didn't You judge people based on what they wear. I wore the Trinity's dress to be woman's created. Instead, I have put up with wearing the ridiculously heavy and green bound the city. I have a saber cord stuck to my chest. Oh, lame. It's heavy. So heavy. I was the CDs ages ago. Dream alive with the kids out there, smile on my face. I don't even understand now. I take a look at the mirror. It was interesting. And the documentary curling and the Betty Booey's gone. Now, hold your tongue still for 1 second. So, what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard. The man! The Nickel Samurai! Oh my god, it really is the third case of the first game again. Because, if we remember, she also saw Will from the last game. Well, she said she saw Will, but it was actually someone else in a costume of the character he plays. But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. No! No, Miss Oldbag, it's very important. This is very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Be nice to me for once. You're being mean to me. Throw me a bone here. And after all I've done, what did I do to deserve this? Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. On guard, on guard. Yes, but now I remember. Nickel Samurai, that's right. I saw the Nickel Samurai, that's what I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. Must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Horwan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. You've done this before. What? I think it could have been someone else inside that costume. Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things. But it's a possibility that does exist. Ah, young'un, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. You've lied multiple times in court. At least she's just a delightful witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. At least Edgeworth is staying mostly quiet so far. He would get blood on the things, wouldn't he? That way, no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I could see. In fact, I think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You're such an annoying child. You know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? Everyone's doing to me. I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for the change in and out of his costume. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. That include the Jam and Ninja. Of course include him. That's why when Guard came out of Deerhorn's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. Must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Let me ask you one last time. The person you saw is really the Nickel Samurai. I haven't been saying any from the very beginning. Can I throw in the towel yet? Don't need to think too hard on this one.
There's a contradiction in her testimony. It's sitting in plain sight. Question is what that contradiction means for us. Remember now. Wait, why would he stab him with a knife if he's wearing the costume? Because the costume has, like, crazy knife hands and a spear. Is it because there's a knife? Yes, it's because the knife. There wouldn't be fingerprints on the knife if used in costume the whole time. Please take a look at this. Yeah, it's a knife, big deal. Are you trying to scare me with that? I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That was the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Not even gonna say anything? Okay. Is that what you're driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are you driving at? Whose car are we driving? I don't have a license, so I hope it's not me. If Mr. Engard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, and it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all the previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? It also has, like, a crazy knife hand. Like, I don't think you can carry anything with that. More like gloves singular and then this crazy doohickey. Probably took his gloves off before beginning. Why? Why would he want to do that? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? Why would he go out of way to incriminate himself? However, there's one possibility. Let's hear this possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room all in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going in to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. Why would you take your gloves off for that? The murder still didn't take this. And also you just admitted that it might not have been premeditated if that's the case. It's well known that there was bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Yes. You just contradicted yourself. They weren't gonna have a friendly chat if there's bad blood between them. You're stupid. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Edgeworth 3? It makes no sense. The defendant went to the victim's room with no intention of killing him. There are no problems. Oh, I thought it was going to... Well, if they had no intention of... Yeah, there's a contradiction here. Save just in case. Because that one point where it was just like, we're gonna take off all your health if you get this wrong. I'm paranoid about that happening again. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. The knife? Yeah, if he... Knife! We just... I keep... The knife is literally our saving grace. Whenever there's a contradiction, it's always the knife. Nuh-uh. Yeah, the knife. Yeah. Mr. Engard couldn't... Yeah, this makes no sense. Yes, we did establish that. It means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, And he brought the knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Garita, but that doesn't make sense because why would he take off his gloves? However, you just said it was yourself. The time the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring the knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means Mr. Edgeworth theory is flawed from suspicion 1. And one more thing, if the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Is that a thing? I guess so. I'm not gonna question it. I mean, its fingerprint should have been all over the... Shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. The knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. I guess that makes sense, yeah. That adds up. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Sure! I guess. Makes more sense. To frame Matt on guard. To frame my client, Mr. On guard, of course. To frame... Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? Weren't you just a second ago? We just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in a costume. If that were true, then it shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Hello there. Witness. Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy-Boo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? Like, imagine someone murdered someone, and they were in a Big Bird costume. So they tried to arrest the guy who plays Big Bird and say that he did it. That's what's happening here. But I mean, I can't do anything about that now. Look, I've been waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Hold on, let me get a good drink of water real quick. I'll be right back. Got my water. Anyway, I'm back. Nice day? Sure has been. Alright then, who are you waiting around for then? That's top secret. To anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Carita, am I correct, witness? Why, you think you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? Victim's room, but she was waiting to catch her glimpse of Mr. Carita. For that person... You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Old bag of security. Yeah, she's the security lady. Adrian Andrews. That get up. It was kind of like a Comic-Con event, but for superheroes. Imagine it was this was basically a Comic-Con event for Power Rangers and Power Ranger adjacent characters. I forget what the genre is called. There's more of them in Japan. We only really got Power Rangers, but the ones where it's people dressed in like full-body superhero costumes where you can't see their face. Those type of stuff. What was it? Common Rider? That's one. I've never seen it, but I know it exists. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? Seems like this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Well, this is... I see. It doesn't get it at all. Seems to really into that article. Could we call it such a thing? This manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away the whole sworn to confidentiality stuff again. Like I did last time. Witness, what in the world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I've got some information from some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation in secret, of course. But what for? Not just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how would you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness. Please testify about this secret information. Get ready. Who's gonna take the wind out of you youngins? I'm sure we're capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. To do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks. So I took action. Oh, and this top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know this, okay? Well, how do you know it was Matt who... Why would Matt... It seems like... Juan was, like, initiated this. Or at least... Well, no. Well, there's no real... Maybe? That would make sense how Matt is involved in this whole disaster somehow. With Celeste. Defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for the court. What? No one's above gossip. Isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We've looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article poses, in fact, a baseless gossip. But should this be true, this provides the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. This means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Mr. Wright, may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited about right now. That's right, on guard is nothing but your average full foul-blooded youth. Saying goes, you gotta burn the old bags with fire. I don't think they say that. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone! I love danger zone. You don't have any proof that Mr. Engard did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. Now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Engard didn't it? Is there any ill will towards Juan? Ah. No. But that doesn't... I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought. You were lecturing me about saying things without proof. I don't have to disprove a negative, whatever the saying is, negative. You have to prove it, not me. I can't prove something that didn't happen. how'd you take action? What do you mean by took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene once this slimy woman came out of Juan's room. I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need.
You're going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat at the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that the woman didn't come through that door that night.
What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one. I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, they teaching kids in middle school these days.
I wasn't asking what the word scandal means, I know that much.
Well, that's when Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
So it doesn't matter to get close with one.
Wait. What? I'm busy, woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet.
That's true. How do you know about this secret information? Ah, well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. If you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
Oh, she stole the camera. Why do you know it?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! Witness!
Yeah, the camera. The investigative photographer Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous young girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
Outrageous idea, you say?
No, I said impressions.
And everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that why. That information puppy-eared whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm a sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a little silly duck. I was only checking to see what she had written. Itchy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like an angel that I am. It's only a little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should have come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it's only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
Pile on more pressure too. I let us up. Perhaps now she'll get away. I have to find the way to inflict a deafening blow with prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it! That's my line. I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that note was the only thing in the camera. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? Camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over a camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why? Witness! What is it, Gramps? If you have that note, then it's only logical you had the camera, too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Ah, that's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know.
I still eat meals like you, I still fall in love, I borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow was a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. A professional security guard, it's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos, hurry! Must examine them at once. I want to know what the details. I want to know the gossip. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. I want to see, I want to see, I want to see. This is Nickel Samurai. I see, I told you. That's the guy I saw. Is this camera perhaps the hostage? There wasn't a hostage in the third case. The hostage is this case. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I don't think his pants are off. He clearly is wearing pants. This photo itself does not prove that the person in the is the defendant. However, his own confession, Mr. Unkard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is... the defendant. Okay, let's examine what we've got here. Let me see this. He's got a real pouty face. I just noticed the bear in the corner. Yes, one bottle. This brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? No, it's not. There's no objection here and blow it, then I would put... Oh, okay, that's a cue to say. Can't make any mistakes here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, well, obviously there has to be something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. Oh, there's no way for this defense to debunk this photo, even with the bunker buster. Debunk with the bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? I have the bunker buster. Anyway, please let me look at the photo one more time. Okay, let me look. Okay, let me look at the Nickel Samurai. Okay. Where are his feet? His feet ain't out. His pants are too big in this one. I've spotted the difference. Serious objection. He got no feet. They took his feet.
I'd like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing at? His ankles?
You could see this person's ankles. That would be one thing, however you can't.
And? What's that mean?
The costume in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What's the meaning of this?
I would wonder if you would care to elaborate. With actual facts, that is. Yeah, Henry, don't tell me the answer next time. That's kind of not cool. Especially when I did not ask. If you do that again, you're out. You did watch, because you were watching the stream and said, hey, there's something wrong, look at his pants, there's something wrong with it. You're not supposed to say that. You will be banished to the Shadow Realm if this continues. Pay careful attention to the area around the bottom of his Hakama. Socks! You can see his socks! However, in this photo, he got no feet! Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside the costume is clearly much shorter than the Vindan. Matt's been wearing heels this entire time. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Is he holding it? Well, we can't see what his other hand is doing. Just unusually calm today. He's thinking up of... I know that face. He's thinking up new insults for me right now. Just letting the trial run itself. It was only along for the ride. He's only here to make me mad. He doesn't care about anything else now. I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Feel under attack? He should. Because I'm going to attack him if he keeps this up. Mr. Edgeworth, where does it leave us? The person in this photo is not Mad on Guard. And everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. What is it? What do you want? I think you have proven that the defendant inside this costume is Mad on Guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who's the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress over this video, it's very simple. You should be focused on Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Why is he so calm? The only one who would have access to that would be Adrian. She's the only one who's, like, definitely shorter than him, I'd say. And also would have access to that. Right? Because last case, like, the third case of the first game, it was the victim. But I don't think that's possible, because the victim did not strangle himself and stab himself and then leave the crime scene. Yeah, it would have to be Adrian. Adrian Andrews? You want to know who that Nickel Samurai is? It's none other than this woman. Why would you say it must have been Miss Andrews? Underworld points... spoilers? I don't see any spoilers. Huh? I'm not seeing anything. Unless the word trite is a spoiler somehow. Oh, it just got deleted. Apparently it was. I don't even know what that means. We have not seen a trite anywhere. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, she's small, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. On Guard's room. Yeah, she's the only person who would have access to the costume and the other room, the victim's room. It's a nickname for Phoenix in the next game. I don't think that's very important. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night. How does that all add up? Means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. On Guard's fingerprints all over it. That knife was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, Wright? Let's just do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for this crime. Why? I don't know. She just did. Order, order, order! Looks like this trial is in a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. The verdict cannot be passed without hearing her testimony first. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us, actually. Huh? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness. It means the trial will go on for... Oh no. One more day. Oh no. I've messed up. I've messed up. Now then. Just set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? I have to raise an objection. Now then. Please, Your Honor. Continue the trial. You must pass the verdict today. You can't do that. You cannot hear Miss Adrian's... Huh? Huh? I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Whose side are you on here? Why are you doing this? Oh my god. Why is it so back and forth with you? I request that you please continue with the day's trial, but cannot continue due to this unexpected development. This unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That's Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. I predicted this from the start. In fact, I already know how this trial is going to end. I'm just here to make things difficult for you. He probably gets the hold it line when he gets his own series, right? Does that have a hold it line? I haven't played that game. Either that or the 3DS games. You knew this was gonna happen! Why are you wasting my time? What? What's the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Oh my god, why'd you even bring... Why is he like this? Why are you doing this? Everyone's planned out in advance by that man? Somehow I knew there was no way Mr. Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. This battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Is it in the next game? Yeah, I guess. That would make sense. They probably had more time to work on the third game than this one. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours? Should I continue? I can continue on a little bit. Got a new profile pic. Welcome! Welcome back to the stream! You're just in time for the last case of the second game of Ace Attorney. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian, no way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews! Whoa, I can't believe this at all! Anyway, this is the face of a man who's, like, not concerned about this at all. Bruh. Dude. Talk about a bruh moment. Matt, are you processing any of this information at all? No. She's your manager. It would be very easy for her to pull this off. Oh wait, he's registering it. He's registering it, I think. The only person who had easy access to the knife and you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break... Oh, so it's after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was going... They didn't even give him a pillow! Or a blanket! I was sleeping like a log the entire... Imagine sleeping in the costume like that without it... Oh my god, Matt. See, she could have also easily planted the blood-covered button on your Hakama. I like her face. She's... Look how displeased she is. This is the face of someone who, like, saw their dog do something naughty. Like, this is like when you find your dog in the trash. Can you help me on my case when I got bitten by a yellow fox thing with blue eyes that's really good at drawing? I believe her name was Sammy. No, I'm a bit busy right now. You'll have to, get someone else to do that. There's a hostage situation. I'm not lying, by the way. There's a hostage situation going on in this game. And only I care about it. Oh, and Gumshoe, I guess. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yeah, she's the real killer. She's the one who murdered Juan Greta. Unless it was the guy called The Killer. By the way, there's also a guy called The Killer in this game, and I have a sneaking suspicion he might be involved in all this. I would say, oh, maybe Adrian's The Killer, but no. We've seen his face. But why? Thought she was best buds with Juan. Listen, there's a bit of a situation. Don't worry about it. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? Matt, I literally showed you the picture of her dead mentor, and you're like, oh, this is bad. You really shouldn't be knowing about this. Matt, what's going on, buddy? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. Did you forget? He forgot. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Okay, it is acquitted. It's Maya. Everyone was Maya this whole time! Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, why is he like this? You think her motive's related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? That's all I've got, ma'am. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact's as her strength and reason to live. Ah! Also, warning, this image will show up often now, I think. But then Miss Impact's only killed herself. Sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Greta, the victim of this murder. Matt's your favorite client in the series? He is pretty funny. I like that our client just is like, kind of just like, oh no, I'm accused of murder, bummer. Oh no, my manager killed him? Dang, that sucks. Anyway. He just does not care. He cannot process this information. He does not think. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got so close to Mr. Greta. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. Phoenix, didn't you promise this woman that you wouldn't bring this up? What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Why do I think that said friendship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to missing tax. Oh yeah, Edgeworth was the one to tell us all of this. Oh yeah, he is more like, he's like a less annoying Larry. Looks like he's still in the one command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m., District Courtroom, Court Number 3. One could mistake a cat for a fox. Rude. Court will now reconvene. Now then. Court will now reconvene. Period. Now then. Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. Where's Larry? Actually, you're right. I don't think we've seen Larry this game. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. He's probably just doing something stupid. Larry isn't really known for being important. He exists to move the plot along when it needs to. His role is friend who I knew in elementary school. That's his role. Yeah, I don't think Larry's in this game. Prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Juan Corrida's room. Yeah, she has this card, which was also where we saw Maya found that card where she's being held hostage. I'm the manager and defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard. They locked him in a shed. I see. Now, before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. Is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. Ah, no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all the work for me. Having the judge as a witness for the case would be really funny, considering just how he blunders everything. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. It was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was it bait and fry? Let me officially. What are you talking about? But I didn't kill him. Was I drinking? Like a few seconds ago, yeah. I can do it again, watch. No one is accusing you of that. I am. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, the defense literally just... I heard them in the other room. I heard you talk about it. No. Yeah, I kinda did that. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then, witness. Please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Why do you have the card? What does it mean? What does it all mean? Anyway. It's time for the start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went over to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. So you contaminated the crime scene, is what you're saying. You found a dead body, and you're gonna be like, damn, that's crazy. I better go. And then you walk over to the table where the dead body is sitting and pour a glass of juice for yourself. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. What? Why would... whatever. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. Well, also the juice bottle. Oh no, a dead body! Juice time! And that is when... the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, we cross-examine the witness. Phoenix, I swear to God, if you screw this up, I'm gonna kill you. She's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Unlike you. I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. Disrupt her pacing. Start dash dancing, Phoenix. She won't know to predict your moves. Start wave dashing. She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off like things inconsistent with her thinking. Ah, I see. I gotta go stupid mode, is what you're saying. Act when she least expects it. It's just the instant you let up your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand? Alright, guns blazing. Just... Time for the show, so I went to go get Matt from his room. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make appearance with the other heroes. Couldn't someone- why were you the one? Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon, what are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started close to them, correct? Or personal matters discussed with the victim? Sorry, I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I was in shock that... So naturally the exact same scene. That's oddly specific. What about the guitar? This photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knight lodged into his chest. The guitar case was like this too. Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? So I poured myself a glass of juice. Why did you do that? Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. Huh? But you didn't drink any of it, did- Yeah! You poured it, but you didn't drink it. Huh? Yeah, it's full! And because there was no lip marks on the wine glass, it just anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking. Why'd you pour it then? Keep pressing. Let's get Matt from his room. Oh yeah, what was Matt doing? He was taking a nap. He was eepy. It was nap time for him. Objection, who drinks tomato juice? The knife did not say- Yeah, funny you say that. I was, like, last stream, I was, like, talking about that the whole time. I was like, how on earth does that tiny little stab wound kill someone? Yeah, that's because that isn't lethal. He didn't die by via stabbing. He was strangled to death with the rope around- with the cloth around his neck. Actually. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. He was worn out from his many performances as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. He was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room yet. Yes? Excuse me? What are you... Right. I thought years of school would have taught you to construct a sentence. Make a sensible sentence with a subject, and I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Unguard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. One's room. Anything you notice about it? You were in shock. Phoenix. What? Was I supposed to be? Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. Can't you expect this young beauty like her to not be shocked? I don't think that beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I'd like you to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body along Rita, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? Mine was really complete blank at the time. Mine was complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? That was a compliment. I didn't know you were capable of not thinking about something. Those days that I made one careless mistake, that one thing. What one thing? Never mind. No, but it literally- we're in court, it is. What was the one thing I need to know? And Miss Andrews, it's that you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. Well, what I really want to know what this mistake was.
Actually, Edgeworth's like, actually, yeah, what was it? I agree. I'm sorry, I kind of embarrassing. when I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. That can't be possible. Yeah, the guitar case was open when he was dead. This mess of glass shards? It's originally on top of the dresser. When I bumped to it with my elbow, it fell off onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Nuh-uh. No, you didn't. But why would she lie about that? Just said that you knocked over the flower vase. Is that correct? Yes. You sure you fell... And you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there a problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. Idiot. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. That rhymes. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what's that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Yeah, it's open, I guess. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. What's wrong with that? The guitar case was open when the vase fell. The glass shards would be inside, not outside the case. What's your point, Wright? The case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found in the studio and no bearing on the case at all. That may very well be, however... Does seem that there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, it doesn't matter what's inside. The maker testify. It's about what's with it. The empty guitar case. I believe this is the crucial piece of the puzzle. If it wasn't important, why was she messing with it? I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. That's why I opened the case, I don't know. It looks like this wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Leave me alone. I'll just go ahead and cross-examine. Using any way to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Dazed? Open the guitar case. Why? So you open the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. What do you mean, maybe? Why'd you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Rita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it?
I would think the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. Yeah. She went out of her way to pour herself a glass of juice, knock over a vase, and then mess with the rest of the crime scene. She was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. But you already knew it wasn't there. I mean, that's kind of important. Is it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. No, or anything. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? I'm a little professional. About a year and a half. Bright red guitar was found in the studio. These trials would be over at half the time if you would just pay attention. Just pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Phoenix... I don't know. Was it because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. Pressing her. I'm not getting anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. Come on, Phoenix. Hit her with a weapon. Open the guitar case. Sorry, knock the vase. What do I have? I'm gonna look at the... Case was empty after all. How'd you know that? Well, I guess you checked. During your testimony just now, do you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure that you were the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. I opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. Okay, it's clearly saying use evidence, but... Knock the vase over. Guitar case. This was empty after all. Your Discord have rent? No, that's a thing. Do I show her? No. No. Hmm. Wine glass? No. This was empty. It has to be either this line or this line, but I don't really have anything. This was empty. Case was empty. How do you know that? I press her again. It's really empty. Not, but he's talking about the guitar. No. How'd you open the guitar case, huh? Mr. Priest's dead body was right in front of you. You saw that he didn't have it at... Oh, that is it. Huh? Actually, I'm not sure how he figured... What? Huh? What are you talking about, Phoenix? That's not what I was going for at all. I was gonna say, how did you know it was empty? When you were opening it. Unless he was talking about after. Why would you say that? Why would you say that, Phoenix? I'm confused. So I'm interested. Don't- You're not Sherlock Sholmes. That's not the right game. Because the only fingerprints... Oh. Oh. Sure, why not? I did it anyway. That's what all that matters. Ah. What is it, Miss Andrews? I shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? You can't be wearing gloves because there was fingerprints on your glass. Sammy won by doing the wrong thing. Hey, as long as it works. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember, I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, that's right. That's strange. Well, strange? Why is it strange? Fingerprints on the glass! Now I'm getting somewhere. Neurons are now activating. We're back in it. We're back in it. I can do this. She's dumber than I remember. Well, to be fair, she's lying. And usually when you lie, when you make up lies on the spot, you, tend to... Sorry, you tend to trip over yourself. A wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on the wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it's just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh my god! Oh, she has a spare pair, don't worry. I just blew her glasses up with my mind! Blows up glasses with mind. I like that she has another pair she just puts back on. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Somehow. Huh? What do you mean? I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. It'd be weird if it didn't. It's just an empty case. Really? I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the bright red guitar was at the studio. Crap all your presumptions. What was it in the guitar case? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. It's the bright white guitar. Wait, it's not right either. I admit it would be rather unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that was on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Hey, it's worked before! Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into his misguided... Shut up. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime scene took place. When the crime took place at the scene. However, it's wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure that I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. You're so sure, right? But I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us why the guitar case has anything to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest the bright black guitar was... So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? Well, why would he bring an empty guitar case? I wouldn't say something if I didn't intuit approve. Okay, Phoenix is about to say something stupid I need to save, because I have no idea what he's talking about. Wait that head of yours. We haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside that case at the time of the murder? Suicide note? No. Can a foolish fool get some love? Empty. Makes sense if it's a knife. me look at the crime scene. What else? If it wasn't a suicide note, what would it be? What could he fit in the guitar? It's a nickel samurai. The press conference, not the receiver, not the camera. Not the suicide note. Help. Hearing anything? So, if we're going under the assumption that this is her, and Matt was still in costume while he was it a second costume? It was a second costume! Yeah, because I'm like, none of this other evidence makes sense, and if she was leaving the crime scene in costume, that's, well, yeah. I don't really get it, but apparently that's right. What's important is what is in the picture, or unless I'm wrong and I've selected this picture and there's something I missed, and it's this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm imposing is... Okay, inside the case was the nickel samurai. Oh! And he brought the costume with him because there was a press conference that Matt didn't know about. So maybe that he brought the costume to make him look bad? Because he was gonna confess something. Here's very own costume. What? I'm as shocked as you. I thought, yeah, that was my first thought too, but that wasn't it. I already showed like the autopsy report mentioning the missing note, and they said nuh-uh. So I'm like, okay, what else could you even fit in there? And literally none of this makes sense except for maybe the costume, and I was like, okay, in the first case's third game, another guy also went into costume and died. Yeah, because Will, the person who died in his case, was dressed as him to frame someone. So the question is, who was he trying to frame? Unless he was going to... I don't know. He was gonna kill Adrian and frame it on Matt, but Adrian killed him and also framed it on Matt. Apparently no one likes Matt. Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Wait, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be in doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. This is just DLC of the Powers case. Yeah, this is just the Will Powers case with more stakes. With a guy named... What if there was a guy named The Killer in the Will Powers case? Would that be messed up or what? Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Any
anything to support such a preposterous idea. Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for big soup. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? I mean this photo! Order, order! Looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? D. Killer, D. Vasquez, oh my god, it's all coming together. Her name was D. Vasquez! His name's D. Killer! It's all coming together! It all makes sense! It doesn't make sense. Nice job, Phoenix. I'm not sure what I did. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait a second, Your Honor? I don't know why I delivered it like that. The nickel samurai costume would have been manning guards. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room? Inside the guitar case of all places. True. It's a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the board would like to hear your thoughts. It was a spare costume. Mr. Engard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about would be a spare one, yeah, because he was wearing it the whole time. And if Juan was planning on using it, it would be a spare that he kept in the case. What? And are you saying on the night of the murder, there were 2 nickel samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? I mean, the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Garita, was the shaman ninja. Why would he secretly bring the nickel samurai spare costume with him? What could the reason behind such a peculiar act? And there lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about? You don't know? You've just been rambling all this time without a sense of inner monologue? Yeah. Your Honor, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing my best here. My evidence I have is a guitar case, a wine glass, and a walkie-talkie. I don't know what you want from me here. This is the evidence I have. And a button and a butter knife. Huh, no, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the nickel samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain? Let me save just in case. I think I know the answer. Think carefully before you answer. And then answer with gusto. I believe in you. This is what I think. Using nickel samurai brought his spare was for the press conference. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show. Hold on, I need water. If it wasn't for the blue text, we would believe Phoenix didn't have an inner monologue. The Nickel Samurai is going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? What struck me as strange is that Mr. Engard himself, he said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. And listen, I know he doesn't know anything in general, but hear me out on this. Andrew's like, uh-oh. But how can that be? The way I see it is, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up. Hold on, I just remembered I need to charge my phone. Hold on. I forgot I was supposed to plug this in. That was such a perfect time for me to get up and leave. Anyway.
Gumshoe will become a full-time mobster since he won't be an officer. Anyway, I'm back. By none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Krita himself. The victim? Yeah. Spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Krita was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? Why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. Nickel Samurai is going to confess something. If I confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard. Yes, I guess that's what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews? I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as they say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Yeah, I'll admit it. Oh, that makes things much easier, I guess. Miss Andrews! Please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one who he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. So there was a second costume, you admit it. Which is why you opened the guitar case. Juan had bet everything at the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful it would destroy Matt's acting career, had it been revealed. I was gonna say that's a motive, but then she wouldn't, if she was trying to protect Matt, she wouldn't have framed him, so... What? Do you know what the secret of Mr. Guard is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I see. Oh, okay. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious. I know this looks bad. Matt has a secret. Does Matt secretly have a brain cell? He's been playing dumb this entire time! He's not actually refreshing, like a spring breeze. It's more of an autumn one. The horror. That's to be expected. Wait. He did get cagey when we mentioned this to her. I mean, mentioned her to him. So he might also know something about that. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? I'm about to frame him even harder now. Matt is a Sith Lord. What a twist. Matt on Guard is Joey Wheeler! No! How could this have happened? You gotta help me. They're trying to convict me of murder, you. Trying to convict me of mortalizing a guy. Joey, I don't think that you should have sent that guy to the Shadow Realm. Back off, I know what I'm doing. Yet again, another strange bit of truth has come to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell the truth about your behavior. Why are you like this? Yes, Your Honor, I understand. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling Matt was the murderer.
I'm about to throw this man under the bus. I had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. How did you know about the button? This does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. Finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous and scared than a rabbit. Are you sure? The defense can find no fault with this testimony. I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep in mind when you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Okay, let me... Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. And that just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Let me save real quick. Protecting Matt. The moment I saw the crime scene, I feel like, why? That's not the question I would want you to ask, Phoenix. See how is your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse your methods of reasoning with your own. My methods of reasoning. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? Motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, a decisive evidence. If you think about these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. Teach that at lawyer school. I don't remember. I had to kill Juan no matter what. Why? These are not the questions I'm trying to ask, Phoenix! This need came from the press conference. Yes, do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel as for the press conference? That's when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But if you're trying to protect Matt, why did you set up the conference? Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? You can't prove that! There's no way of proving that! Anyway, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony, if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? No one who helped Miss Krita with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out. Yeah, why'd you do that? The person on the trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? But the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan. It's none of our concern. It kind of is! In any case, this means the defendant had a motive to kill. So obviously, I know what his motive was. I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Didn't you testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Tell me now that that too was a lie you could cover for Mr. On Guard. I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him from the show, he was honestly sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, I cannot say. I was supposed to be setting up the stage at the time. Keep trying, but I can find no flaw with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people in the courtroom, however. Just going straight at Mia. Why aren't you, smart guy? Mia, are you reading my thoughts? Yes! How'd you know about that? You can hardly call the nice decisive evidence. Fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage. And what about the button? The
button. Near the crime scene, the victim and his murderer fought. During the fight, the killer ripped off the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Talking about this button, correct? But the button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that that makes it very decisive evidence. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove anything. Please fix your testimony. Mia, stop reading my thoughts. Fight with Matt. How do you know that? The ends of the threads of the button and the costume were matched up. They found to fit perfectly, or so I heard. That one too. Why was Miss Andrews know about the case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that. I'm just prepared as... just because I'm prepared and you're not. Why would you need... But... You really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? At the worst possible time. What does it say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Engard at any time. Why, then, would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Frieda planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Engard as much damage as she possibly could. Witness bears ill will to the defendant. If this isn't Phoenix Wright, wax philosophical power hour, what does that even mean? Stop slandering the witness. Really? Because to me it sounded a bit wishy-washy. Well, it is, but Phoenix is asking stupid questions during the cross-examination, so I can't get the answers I want. I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove that I'm right. The biggest one is, if you wanted to protect him, why did you set up the conference in the first place? No. Would it be the fact that he was strangled first? Oh. Big brain. I did it. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which means that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Honestly, my logic there was, since he was strangled, don't you usually, like, stand behind them? When you're strangling them? With a cloth or something? Like, I'm not an expert on strangling, so maybe I was wrong there, but... Anyway, he was strangled to death in the fight. Ah! That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way the button was ripped off during the struggle. The button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Order, order! What's the meaning? What's the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We know that this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean... Was it? To pin the crime on guard. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is... Didn't we already say this earlier? Oh, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer, then? Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end. The person who framed the guard is... obviously Adrian. Didn't I say... Adrian, I choose you! Why... Pokemon now? You are Mr. Krita's killer. What? Blows up glasses with my mind. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? All the stuff I brought up earlier? Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews. What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he'd already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. The knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. The only one who had dinner with him was you, which means... and knew which knife to take was you! Blow the glasses with my mind! You're going to run upstairs any time now. Any moment now. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim after he'd already died. 2 more, wait, 3. Actually 4. I think this is pair number 4 now. The only people who could have done so were the person who found the body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there's no way he would put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Blows up glasses with my mind! The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which means you, yet again, Miss Andrews. Let's see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews! No, Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. It was you who proved she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving a print, she used a towel or something else to open it. But glass tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left their fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. blows up glasses with my mind. And another thing! And to top it all off, there's this photo! A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is mad on guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. How tall? Think of how tall people are. Miss Andrews, you're kind of short. You're small, are you not? Please stop. No. Oh, how about it, Miss Andrews? Harder this time. Miss Andrews? Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. Let me just have a breather real quick. My glasses got blown up a whole lot. I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It's like, can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate you. You're pleading the fifth! They really pled the fifth in Ace Attorney! You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. Do they have that law in Japan? Is that a thing in Japan too? I guess that wouldn't be too surprising if similar laws. The law does provide with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing the witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Phoenix, how did you not know this? Phoenix, that's like... It's an amendment! I'm pretty sure that's in the Constitution. Being the fifth. It's not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday to Mr. On Guard's room. Oh. She knew from the beginning! Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. That's it. That's when Francisca planted the idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things look bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. There's still one thing you haven't done. What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. Ow, my knee. But everything the good lawyer here has proven, up to this point, is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? I mean, her pleading the fifth is pretty incriminating. Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of this definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Kurita. Hey, remember that thing you told me yesterday? Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Kurita? I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing you can prove it. Nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Yeah, she could be saying, I only tampered with the crime scene. Oh, she's taking the divine attitude again. Mia, what do I do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. Things are bad, Phoenix. I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. The defense theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof, but that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing the court can do, and
And as declare recess. Recess? Request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial. Uh-oh. Tomorrow? You don't have a tomorrow. You don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. Trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please. Oh, please, let the trial continue. I don't want my verdict in Maya. Huh? I didn't say anything. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... Oh. It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... Why is he doing... What did he mean by this? It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination, however... The topic of conversation was something unrelated to what she may be guilty of. She has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that's very true, but... Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews... When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I can't help but think about how unnatural that is. That's what I was saying! You literally were defending her. He's bipolar, he really is! His 1 year, like, leave was him deciding that he's going off his meds, apparently. He needs help. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have reasons behind your actions, I would like to you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again. And to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. When we find out this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it's about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off him. He's lost it. Is he a friend or a foe? I just don't know. That rhymes. Court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. Glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room. I saw it in a messy state. Juan, he was sitting slumped over, tired looking in the corner. He was stabbed! Girl! I didn't think it would need so... Please be careful. There's something so blatantly wrong. But I found the body. Actually, let me save just in case, where it's like... Oh, but you didn't... That's the right evidence, but you didn't do it in this specific... But he's dead, didn't cross my mind. He was stabbed. He was stabbed and bleeding. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? Edgeworth is both friend or foe. It depends on what mood he's in. Edgeworth came back saying he discovered what he's supposed to do. Yeah, he's the most indecisive we've ever met. Yeah, he's more indecisive than, like, the third case, where his whole character arc was, oh, maybe I should be helping. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body,
him being stabbed? What's the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Kurita's chest. When I saw that scene, I immediately thought he was a dead man. That's you see. Not a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Sandrew's testimony just now was all one giant lie. Blows up glasses with my mind. And your lie was proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer. That somehow, probably... No! No! I did it! Looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible! You're wrong! Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. I know you're going to jail for murder, but we're in court here. It wasn't me, I tell you! It was Matt, I swear it! He's the one who killed Juan! You're the one who refused to testify! And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. There is no need for this court to continue any further. Sir Madangard's innocence has clearly been demonstrated. It's over. It's over? Is it? No, I'm still confused on what's happened. We found the truth at last? No. Surely nothing. What's wrong, Phoenix? This is too suspicious. They're, like... We still don't know what's going on with her and him and the whole secret thing. Multiple secrets, in fact, and also the killer. Usually the real killer confesses his guilt or his or her guilt. Now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. This is the first time someone's being smart and saying, no, I didn't. Now then, I would like you to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard. God damn it. Whose side are you on? Make up your damn mind. Where is it? Your job is to prove Matt is... Prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. That is true. The absolute real truth? What are you... Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. Edgeworth should have had his identity crisis when he was gone. As long as you protect yourself through your silence, Man on Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. It's a lie. I don't believe you. What? You are the least trustworthy person I have seen. Damn it, she's right. I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? Who told you this? I can't speak about it, I'm too scared. Franziska von Karma. Well, Franziska's in the hospital after an assassination attempt, so... Don't you remember, Phoenix?
Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... She was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Madame Guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now. Is clinging on to them. What should we do? Cling on to something else. It's the first time I've ever come across something like this. Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? Get her not guilty. That's my only priority. It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Oh, please. Someone help me. Right? Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think carefully about this. Think about what the witness did and what she did not do. Think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Mastermind... I mean, the mastermind behind all this is clearly the guy called the Killer. Listen, there's a guy that's called the Killer that we still haven't taken an account for yet, so, that might be our clue here. Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? The not guilty verdict feels like a trap. And there's clearly information we're not getting from her. A not guilty verdict seems like the easy way out. You know what? My turn to switch sides. Mom said it's my turn to be confusing, but I can't bring myself to do this. Well, she looks too sad. Miss Andrews, I'd like to know what you are really hiding. Yeah, wait, there's clearly something else going on here, considering there's a guy called the Killer. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Neither does Edgeworth, but here we are. Mom said it's my turn to be bipolar. Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end? Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. I have been blowing up things with my mind. I might be doing mind tricks. That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clearly that the defense theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, hold on, let me get another glass of water real quick. Oh, gotta disappear for a second. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, oh. Whoop. Stare at Edgeworth. Whoop. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify,
It falls on my shoulders to disclose to this court. Stop. Mr. Edgeworth! This witness... How should I put this? She has an illness. Oh no. What year did this game come out? This game came out in 2002. Just for context. So I think we're about to get, like, some very, very misguided interpretations of mental illness right now. She's gay. I don't think that's it. Miles, you are one to judge. She's the one with the problem, huh? What? Because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. How much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Oh, that's the second part of the suicide report. It's suicide. Well, at least he's the one bringing it up and not me, because I did tell her I wouldn't. I never said I wouldn't try to convict her of murder, though. I only made a... What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? Will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adriana, and Jesus Christ! Hey, wait a minute, didn't you leave one of those? I think you're projecting here. I think you're being a bit of a hypocrite right now. Dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please, please stop! I beg of you, people find out! Find out, I'll... What is it? He is such a hypocrite! And a jerk! If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me. You are one to talk! He's projecting so hard right now! How can you be so cold? However, before you die, oh my god! I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court yourself or shall I? Either is fine with me. I will talk, but please, help me. I mean... We can help you get some therapy. Good Lord, Edgeworth. Nothing matters anymore. Don't call it a crime. Oh, him being dead. Really thought he fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. Then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, I was returning to Matt's room. I had a bit of an inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. Why would you do that? It's obvious. To pin the blame on a certain person. Certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all this? What did you mean by this? What did you mean by that? It might take this court a little while to understand, but... this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive it. What did he do? He's trying to escape his guild again, just like the last time. What last time? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Carita, in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How else is possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Genuinely the worst I've seen an Ace Attorney character. Yeah, this is like... Good lord. What was the inconvenience? Inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. Lotta. That is spikes. There was also one with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. It's all back for you. I've already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. You were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. Put it in Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. What is the secret? I don't know. Well, you're saying how horrible he is, but you're saying I don't know what he did anyway. I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt is the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologize to me. We were both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. So, he was already dead when you saw him. But you could tell from the state of the room that there must have been a fight. Telling the truth when you said you did not know he was dead. He had a scarf tied around his neck. The scarf is part of the Jam and Ninja's costume, so I think it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit. I couldn't see his face that well. Hi, Digivixen, how's it going? That's why I thought I'd wake him up and want to pour him juice. Why did you do this? What was this plan you had? I knew right away the murder was Matt. Why? I know because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan, silence him for good. That's when I thought, I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged piece of evidence were the knife and the button. Fingers, the first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. That's when you could get the knife, correct? Used at dinner. Knife Matt had used... the knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. Thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn his eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at that time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. So you were the one that stabbed the victim with that knife. Gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. That's not a good excuse. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more like a suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and plant it in Mr. Ungard's Hakama. Yes, that's what I planned to do. But things never go smoothly, do they? Oh. I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Ungard's room and planted the button? To Matt Takuma? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. I snuck out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it... the real criminal? It's Matt on guard! Yesterday, that one prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. If I just kept quiet, Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. Defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of the witness is over. And so is today's trial. Oh no. Couldn't establish the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Mr. Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Oh no. He even played a scary sound effect. He's gone! He just straight up evaporated! Oh. That's new. It is so over. Didn't want an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Oh. Are we bringing it back? Are we bringing it back? We're bringing it back! What is it? This first time we- oh yeah, it is the first time we've seen the judges there. He's not even here! Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I don't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day. The room? That day? Yeah. Oh, I see it. I found this card when I was discovering Juan's body. Yeah. You can see it right next to the glass. It was lying there, right next to him. I found that card next to the victim's body. I suppose it must have been unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. I thought, ooh, pretty card. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Right? This card definitely doesn't appear in the room that Maya's being held hostage in. That would be ridiculous. I don't see why... Hold it. It's that card. Give it to me. Hurry! Edgeworth. Any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This... I can't believe you hid this from me all the... I mean, she was holding it. She was showing it to everybody this entire time. You just weren't looking at it enough. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? What does it mean? The Neo Samurai card. To be continued. Good lord, I almost did this for 4 hours. Well... Maya might be dead. Oops. Anyway. Maybe we'll somehow manage to solve the case while the judge is gone. Who knows? Anyway. I'll see you guys later with who knows what. And, you guys have a good one. Good night. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm very tired now. My throat's sore. My tongue is numb, which is not a good sign. But, yeah. Bye-bye! See you later. Maybe I'll do a drawing stream. Who knows? Peace out. Woo! No marathon run, no. Good night, everybody.